Yes. Good morning to all. I am Lakshman Singh, lecturer in physics, working at Government Polytechnic, Medchal. Yeah, in previous class, we have been discussed about the equation of motion of a body along the oblique projection and horizontal projection. So already we discussed about the linear equation of motion and projectile motion. And the projectile motion are two type. One is the horizontal projection and oblique projection. Today we are going to discuss about the mechanics lesson. In mechanics lesson, we have discussed magnitude and direction of a magnitude and direction of a resultant velocity of a projectile. Generally, in this instant, in a projectile, the velocity may be divided into or resolved into two perpendicular component. One is the one is the component is along the horizontal like x-axis, another is the along the vertical direction along like y-axis. So along the x-axis, the horizontal velocity component is u cos theta. It is remains a constant, and along the vertical direction means along the y-axis, the vertical velocity component is u sin theta. So those velocity is gradually changes by increasing distance from the point of projection. So the initial velocity component is u and the final velocity is v. So the initial velocity components are u cos theta and u sin theta, and the final velocity components are the v sin theta and v cos theta. So v cos theta along the horizontal, v sin theta is along the vertical. So on completion of this period, we are able to understand derive expression for magnitude and direction of a resultant velocity of a projectile after certain time period like t seconds, after t seconds. Okay, so the main recapitulation of this period is, in this previous topics we are discussed about the projectile motion. Projectile means consider a body is projected with a certain initial velocity by making an angle of theta is other than 90 degrees, and it is allowed to move under the gravitational force is called projectile motion. And the path of a projectile motion is called a trajectory. This trajectory has like a parabolic path. So and kinds of projectile motion are two types. One is the horizontal projection and oblique projection. So what is the path followed by the projectile means it is the parabolic path. And give a for and the example for projectile motion are a football is kicked by the player, and a bullet fired from the motion of a bullet is fired from a gun, and a ball is hit by a bat in cricket team, and a ball is thrown by a fielder to the keeper. It is a parabolic path. It is the parabolic path. And what happens to the horizontal component of velocity of a projectile during its motion? Generally, in the case of a horizontal motion, the body is faces equal gravitational influences. That's why the initial velocity component is remains the same at any point during its motion along the horizontal direction. But the vertical direction, the velocity component is gradually decreases by increasing height. What happens the vertical component of velocity of a projectile during its motion? Means the velocity is gradually decreases by increasing height in the case of a upward direction. In the case of a freely falling body like downward direction, the velocity component is gradually increases by decreasing or by decreasing height. by decreasing height. As the path of a projectile is a parabola, then its velocity is not constant because of, in the case of a vertical motion, the velocity is gradually changes. But in the case of a horizontal motion, the velocity component remains constant because of this velocity is influenced with a gravitational force like constant gravitational force. So the height of the plane is remains constant with respect to the ground surface. That's why the velocity is remains constant. Now today we are discuss about the magnitude and direction of a velocity of a projectile after certain time period like t seconds. See here, see this diagram. Generally, O is the point of a projection. From point O, a body is projected or thrown with a certain initial velocity u with an angle of theta with respect to the horizontal surface. Then this velocity is resolved into two perpendicular component according to the resolution of vector. So the resolution vector is means the process of splitting of one vector into two parts. So the vector which are divided into two vectors are called resultant vector, and the vectors which are divided by a resultant vector are called components. So the resultant vector can be divided to perpendicular components. So the horizontal component of vector is u cos theta, like u into resultant quantity into cos theta, and vertical along the vertical component is the resultant quantity into sin theta. And along the vertical direction, the vertical component of velocity generally in this diagram at point O, the point of the angle of projection is theta and the velocity of projection is u. This u at point O may resolved into two perpendicular component along the x-axis like towards to the OD. The initial velocity u component is u cos theta. Along the vertical direction like y-axis, the initial velocity component is u sin theta. After t seconds, the body is reaches at point A. Then what happens means, at point A, the final velocity, the velocity of a body is v. This v is resolved into two components. One is along the x-axis is vx and along the y-axis is vy. So along the horizontal direction, the velocity components are remains constant, that is vx is equal to ux, and along the vertical component the velocity is gradually decreases or changes to vy. Then vy is equal to v sin theta. And at a maximum height, the velocity remains zero. That's why initial velocity component is equal to final velocity component. Like horizontal and vertical components are remains the same. See here, consider a body is projected with some velocity u at an angle of theta with horizontal from point O, with horizontal at point O, and resolving the velocity into two rectangular components, and one is the u cos theta is along the horizontal direction, u sin theta is along the vertical direction. And magnitude and direction of a resultant velocity of a projectile after t seconds is generally the component along the horizontal is the velocity component, like which is it is the initial velocity component along the horizontal is ux is equal to u cos theta. And note this point, very important, since the projectile experiences uniform velocity along the horizontal, this component is constant throughout its motion because of at any point during its motion the velocity, horizontal velocity, is remains same. and magnitude and direction of a resultant velocity of a projectile after t seconds. Okay, the component along the vertical direction. So the initial velocity component along the vertical direction is uy, that is uy is equal to u sin theta. Uy is equal to u. Okay, the component along the horizontal is ux, like horizontal component is ux is equal to u cos theta. This u cos theta is remains constant along the during its motion, remains constant at any point during its motion. And the vertical initial velocity component is uy. Uy is equal to u sin theta. The velocity, vertical velocity component is affected by acceleration due to gravity. This component is changes from point to point in its path. The projectile reaches the point in this instant the body is reaches at point A in its path with the same velocity, with some velocity v after some time t. After t second, the body is reaches at a point A and its velocity is v. V is along the tangent at the drawn at point on the projectile. Let alpha is the angle of motion with respect to the horizontal surface after t seconds. And along the horizontal distance, the x is the horizontal distance traveled and y is the vertical distance traveled from point of projection after t seconds. So what happens means, after t second the body is reaches at a point A and A is a point at a distance of x and y along the horizontal and vertical direction from point of projection O, and at point A the direction of motion is and making an angle of alpha with respect to the horizontal surface. Okay, these are the three important points. The projectile is reaches at a point A in t seconds along its path and it has a velocity v. This v of direction is alpha with respect to the horizontal surface, and after t second the body is reaches at a point A and A is at a distance of small x and small y along the horizontal and vertical direction from point of projection O. Okay, and x is the horizontal component of a velocity, horizontal component of velocity into time. Generally x is what? X is the distance. So the x is the distance. Distance is equal to velocity into time. That's why horizontal initial velocity into time of instant t. That is x is equal to ux into t, and ux is u cos theta. Then u cos theta into t is a distance. And given resolving where x is the horizontal component of a velocity, general horizontal displacement. Horizontal displacement is equal to horizontal velocity into time t. That is x is equal to ux into t. Then ux is equal to what here? Ux is equal to u cos theta. Ux is equal to u cos theta. And ux is equal to u cos theta, and then the displacement from point O to A along the horizontal direction, that is x is equal to u cos theta into t. It is equation number 1. Again resolving the velocity v into two perpendicular component at a point A, Then the horizontal component of a final velocity, the final horizontal component of a velocity is Vx is equal to V cos alpha. Vx is equal to V cos alpha. This is since there is no changes in horizontal component of a velocity, because of it can faces same acceleration due to gravity. Okay, that's why the velocity is remains same, that is ux is equal to vx, and that is vx is equal to ux, then vx is equal to u cos theta, ux is equal to u cos theta, and vx is equal to also u cos theta. Therefore v cos alpha is equal to u cos theta. V cos alpha is equal to u cos v cos alpha is equal to u cos theta. Therefore the vertical component of velocity is vy is equal to v sin alpha, and the initial velocity component is uy is equal to u sin alpha. So the initial vertical velocity component is in uy is equal to u sin alpha. Final vertical velocity component is vy is equal to v sin alpha. Then the initial vertical velocity is uy is equal to u sin theta, and that is the initial vertical velocity is uy is equal to u sin theta, and after t second the body is reaches at point A along the upward direction. That's why the acceleration is taken as a that is the initial vertical velocity is uy is equal to u sin theta. After t second the body reaches at point A along upward direction. That's why the acceleration is taken as a minus z, because of it is a along the upward direction, upward motion. Using the equation, that is the first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at, then vy is equal to uy plus a into t, that is a at the place of a we have to substitute z minus z. Then that is v sin alpha is equal to u sin theta minus z into t, and squaring equation 1 and 2, then we get here from equation 1 v square sin square alpha is equal to squaring equation 1 and 2, that is v square sin square alpha is equal to u square u sin theta minus gt whole square, and equation from this equation v square sin square alpha is equal to u square sin square theta plus g square t square minus 2 ug t into sin theta. That is from that is this equation is expanded as per a minus b whole square formula. That is u sin theta is a, g into t is a b, and minus whole square. So here that is u square sin square theta plus g square t square minus 2 ug t into sin theta, and from equation 1 squaring on both sides, then v square cos square alpha is equal to u square cos square theta. So add equation then what happens means adding equation number 3 and 4 here, then automatically v square sin square theta v square sin square alpha plus cos square v square cos square alpha is equal to u square sin square theta plus g square t square minus 2 ug t sin theta plus u square cos square theta. Then common is v square here, then v square into sin square t alpha plus cos square alpha is equal to u square into sin square theta plus cos square theta plus g square t square and minus 2u gt sin theta. Here v square sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equal to 1 and sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Then we get here v square is equal to u square g square t square minus 2u gt sin theta, and the resultant therefore the magnitude of a resultant velocity of a projectile after t second is v is equal to square root of u square plus g square t square minus 2u gt sin theta. It is the resultant magnitude of a resultant velocity after t second along the projectile motion. And dividing equation 2 by 3, generally equation 2 is v sin alpha is equal to u sin theta minus gt, and equation 1 is v cos alpha is equal to u cos theta. Then equation 2 divided by 1 we get here v sin alpha by v cos alpha is equal to u sin theta in minus gt divided by u cos theta. Then v is common, that's why v gets cancelled, remaining sin alpha by cos alpha is equal to u sin theta minus gt by u cos theta. Then we get here sin alpha by cos alpha is tan alpha, that is tan alpha is equal to u sin theta minus gt by u cos theta. Hence the direction of a velocity of a projectile after t second is alpha is equal to tan inverse of u sin theta minus gt whole divided by u cos theta. It is the resultant velocity of a projectile. Then we have learned to do this period deriving expression for magnitude of a resultant velocity of a oblique projection and direction of a resultant velocity of a oblique projection. That is, the expression of a magnitude of a resultant velocity upon oblique projectile is u square minus plus g square t square minus 2u gt sin theta. So the option 1 is correct. 2u gt u square. Okay, option 1 is the option A is the correct answer. So this is the today's class, and today again we have to discuss about the another topic, that is circular motion. Yeah, and today we are going to discuss about the circular motion, that is circular motion. So on completion of this period we are able to understand the definition of a circular motion and the definition of a centripetal force and definition of a centrifugal force. So already we have discussed about the linear motion and rectilinear motion and projectile motion. Linear motion means the body is either be projected along the horizontal direction or vertical direction is called linear motion. If the bodies are projected along the horizontal and vertical motion are called a rectilinear motion. And the projectile motion means the body is making an other than 90 degrees. Angular projection is other than 90 degrees are called a projectile motion. The circular motion means just see here, see this statement of a circular motion. Circular motion means the particle which it is moving along the circumference of a circle with a fixed radius is called a circular motion. See here, circular motion means the particle which it is moving along the circumference of a circle in a circumference of a circle along the circumference of a circle with a fixed radius is called a circular motion. Generally, the initial position of a particle is A, final position of a particle is B, and the angle of displacement in t second is theta. Before going to this, we are able to understand what is the circular motion. So the particle which it is moving along the circumference of a circle with a fixed radius is called a circular motion. Generally, the example for circular motion means the earth is revolving around the sun is a circular motion because of earth can be moved along the circumference of a circle of a sun. So sun of radius is remains constant. An electron is revolving around the nucleus is a circular motion with a fixed orbital with a fixed orbital. It is a one of the circular motion means the radius of a circle is remains constant, then the body is moving along the circumference of a circle is called a circular motion. Why does the body is moving along the circumference of a circle with a fixed radius? Means due to the two forces, like one is the centripetal force and the centrifugal forces. What is centripetal forces? The force which it is act towards the center along the radius is called the centripetal force. So due to this, generally in this diagram, so from point x, so generally consider a circle of center O and x dash y dash are the two perpendicular diameter of a circle. When a body or when a particle is moving along the circumference of a circle from x to y, then automatically at any point during its motion, the direction of motion is along the tangent drawn at any point during its path, on its path. But generally the direction of motion is along the tangent. But why does the body of motion of a direction can be turned towards to the circumference? Means due to the some force of attraction. Those force of attractions are two types. One is the centripetal force, another is the centrifugal force. If the force can be acted towards to the center and perpendicular to the direction of a motion, means the force which it is act along the radius vector towards to the center, along the radius vector towards to the center is called centripetal force. Like the force which it is act towards the center along the radius is called centripetal force. That centripetal force of formula, that is F is equal to mv square by r, where m is the mass of a particle, v is the velocity of a particle, and r is the radius vector, r is the radius of a circle, and F is the force. That force can be acted towards to the center, is called centripetal force, The force which it is acted towards to the center along the radius is called centripetal force. That force of formula F is equal to mv square by r, where m is the mass of a particle, v is the velocity of a particle, and r is the radius vector towards to this center. And this radius of a distance between the center of a circle into the circumference of a circle is remains constant at any point from circumference of a circle into the center of a circle is called a radius. It is denoted with r. What is centrifugal force? Generally, the force which it is act act or bring the body towards to the circumference of a circle, and which it is pulled down towards the center, and the force which it is act inside the center of a circle along the radius vector and perpendicular to the direction of a motion of a body of along the circumference of a circle is called a centripetal force. Generally, the centripetal force can be defined into two three ways. Like first way of a definition is the force which it is acted towards the center along the radius, and the force which it is causes to bring the particle of motion along the circumference of a circle and perpendicular to the direction of a motion is called centripetal force. This centripetal force of formula is F is equal to mv square by r, where F is the centripetal force, m is the mass of a particle, v is the velocity of a particle, and r is the radius of a circle. And centrifugal force. What is centrifugal force? The force which it is act outside from the center of a circle along the radius is called centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. So it is quite opposite. To the centripetal force. That is the force which it is act outside from the center along the radius and perpendicular to the direction of a motion is called centrifugal force. Due to this force, the particle cannot be escape from the nucleus, which it is the force which it is try to escape the particle from the center is called centrifugal force. The centrifugal force of formula is the same as the centripetal force, that is F is equal to mv square by r, where is also F is the centrifugal force, m is the mass of a particle, v is the velocity of a particle, and r is the radius of a circle. And what is the banking surface? Generally, what is the banking surface means? Generally, consider any horizontal road. That if the horizontal road is generally the horizontal road is a straight line. It is one of the horizontal straight road. Just consider a horizontal straight road. That horizontal road of surface is parallel to the surface, ground surface. If any sharp curve B occurs on the horizontal road, then automatically what happens means at sharp curves, the elevations of a surface of a road, the surface of the road can be elevated. The elevated surfaces, the surface can be elevated with respect to the horizontal surface. Means the one surface can be pulled down and the remaining end of the surface is elevated towards the upward. So there be some angle will be made. That angle between the elevated surface into the horizontal surface is called angle of banking. So the angle banked surfaces means if any road or surface, horizontal surface can be faces sudden curve. At sudden curves, the surface of the road is elevated with respect to the horizontal surface. That elevated surfaces are called banked surface. and the angle made by the elevated surface with respect to the horizontal surface is called angle of banking. The angle made by the elevated surface with respect to the horizontal surface is called angle of banking. This angle of banking is denoted with theta, and the angle made by the elevated surface with respect to the horizontal surface is called angle of banking. So why does the angle of banking is needed? Like the purpose of a angle of banking, generally to providing a necessary centripetal force, because of centripetal force is always acted towards to the center. That's why if at any end, that at that end the top weight of a vehicle always acted towards to the elevated surface like a center, and to reduce the frictional wearing and tearing of a tire. Generally the tire may occurs due to the friction, occurs wearing and tearing. So if the sharp curve can be reduces the wearing and tearing effect to the tire of a vehicles, and to avoiding the skidding effect, to avoid the skidding effect of the by this banking surfaces. So these are the purpose of a, and to avoiding the overturning of a vehicles, to avoiding the overturning of a vehicles. So these are the purpose of a banking. So what is banking surface means, if any horizontal road can be faces sudden curve, at the sudden curve the surface of the road is has been elevated. This elevated surface with respect to the horizontal surface is called banked surface. That elevated surface making an angle of theta with respect to the horizontal surfaces are called angle of banking. Angle of banking. So the purpose of banking is to providing necessity centripetal force and to reduce the frictional wearing and tearing of a tire of a vehicles, and to avoid the skidding of a vehicles, and to avoiding the overturning of a vehicles. These are the purpose of a banking. And what are the expression for angle of banking? What is the expression for angle of banking? So generally angle of banking of formula is derived by using frictional forces and centripetal forces. So just consider a car is moving, just consider a car of mass m is moving on inclined surface of at an angle of inclination or angle of banking is theta with respect to the horizontal. The surface with a speed of v. Generally, consider a car of mass m is moving on inclined surface of an angle of inclination is theta with respect to the horizontal, and with a speed of v. So v is the speed of a vehicle on the inclined surface like banked surface. M is the mass of a car, v is the velocity of a car, theta is the angle of banking. Therefore, the force acting on the car is the weight of the car. So what are the forces can be acted on the car means the weight of the car is acted vertically down. This weight of a car is resolved into two perpendicular components, and the normal reaction is against the weight of a car and perpendicular to the surface of a banking. And the normal reaction can be resolved into two perpendicular components. One is the r sin theta and r cos theta. R cos theta is perpendicular to the surface, and r sin theta is the parallel to the surface. Like n cos theta is the vertical component, n sin theta is the horizontal component. Since the car has no vertical motions, so the weight of a car is balanced with the horizontal component, that is n cos theta is equal to mg. mg is the weight of a car is balanced with the normal reaction of vertical components, that is n cos theta. But n sin theta is unbalanced. This it is act n cos theta is unbalanced component, and it is act towards the center, and it provides the centripetal force, and it provides the centripetal force and it provides the centripetal force for a circular motion, that is n sin theta is equal to mv square by r. This is equation number 2. That is, at the place of n we substitute mg sin theta is equal to mv square by r. From equation 1 and 2, equation 2 is divided with 1, then we get here mg sin theta by mg cos theta is equal to mv square by r all divided by mg. There mg and at the right side get cancelled. Then the sin theta by cos theta is equal to v square by r into z. That is, sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta, then tan theta is equal to v square by rz. Then the angle of banking, theta is equal to tan inverse of v square by rz. This is the today's angle of banking. Okay, then and today we have discussed some of the example exercise, like a football is kicked at an angle of 37 degrees to the horizontal with a velocity of 15 meter per second. Then calculate time of ascent, maximum height reached by the body, and horizontal range, and time of flight. So first of all, we have discussed about the what is the time of given data from this problem is angular projection is theta is equal to 37 degrees, and velocity of motion, like initial velocity of a motion is u is equal to 15 meter per second, and acceleration due to gravity value is taken as a 9.8 meter per second square. Then the first problem is time of ascent. Time of ascent of formula in oblique projection is ta is equal to u sin theta by z. Then we substitute here t is equal to at the place of u we substitute 15 into sin 37 degrees all divided by 9.8. Then we get here 0.92 seconds. So it is the time of ascent of a time of ascent. And time of ascent, and maximum height h maxima. H maxima is equal to u square sin square theta by 2z. Then h maxima is equal to 15 square sin square 37 degrees all divided by 2 into 9.8. That is, for a simplification, we get the maximum height is equal to 4.16 meter. It is the maximum height reached by the body when a body is projected with a 15 meter per second velocity and 37 degrees of a angle of projection. And horizontal range r is equal to u square sin 2 theta divided by z. That is, u square means 15 square into sin 2 into 37 all divided by 9.8. That is, 15 square means 225 into sin of 74 degrees all divided by 9.8. then we get here the horizontal range is 22.07. Then the time of flight of formula is equal to capital T is equal to 2u sin theta by c. Then 2u sin theta means 2 into 15 into sin 37 all divided by 9.8. Then after simplification we get the time of flight is equal to, and the capital T is the time of flight, is equal to 1.84 second. It is the today's exercise problem, and tomorrow classes we have discussed about the some of the exercise and another lesson, simple harmonic motion. Thank you one and all. Thank you one and all.